About 50% of Kenyans have access to internet, and the rise in penetration has seen broadcast companies interlink their services to the internet as a growth frontier. CNBC Africa takes a look at the impact of this convergence. Broadcast companies in Kenya are increasingly tapping the potential of the internet to keep up with the internet-savvy audience. Online streaming has in the recent past dominated lifestyles, especially among the young viewers who access programming through services such as Netflix and YouTube.
The shift means that now customers will demand more capacity, and not just more capacity, more consistent capacity, and basically being able to burst beyond the basic internet use, even where we know people use it for watching online content. We now know that when we now move to online broadcasting, it means that they spend more time. So basically it means you need a more consistent connection and you demand more capacity. So that's a shift on the customer end side. And that will come with, obviously, people will demand probably lower prices, because the more you use, you don't expect to continue paying the same amount of money.
The ability to create and share content via the internet and transmit it across different devices has made it easier for new players to enter the market. This has led to local television networks reevaluating the way they operate.
Television broadcast that's available on both digital terrestrial and satellite TV is still going to lead the way. I have said that with the entry of Netflix, as much as there is online content, it's still very expensive. We are happy at the moment. We're always looking forward to competition, but at the moment, it's still reserved, I think, for only the few or the very affluent people.
According to a report by Dataxis, Kenya is the most developed market in the region with a TV household penetration rate of 32%.
On the investment front, I think they'll have to do a lot more in terms of developing their catalog, also shifting their content to online platforms, and also just trying to engage viewers more in terms of producing more content. Because I think even as Netflix comes, one of the biggest advantage is, number one, just being able to be flexible for the viewers who want to watch on demand, and secondly, it's also the availability of wide array of content. So our local broadcasters will have to move in that direction.
The changes associated with the convergence between broadcast and telecommunication demand for strong infrastructure, which is a challenge to date.
On the provider side of things, it means they have to start augmenting their infrastructure. So if we think about the mobile operators, it means now they have to start moving more rapidly to the higher capacity technologies. Here we're talking about, in Kenya, the 4G technology. 3G has been there, it has been decent, but now there has to be a more rapid rollout of the 4G technology, because it is the only technology today that probably provides the best user experience when it comes to videos.
At the moment, internet is still expensive in this country. To get online content, you would need a good broadband connection, and that is still prohibiting a lot of Kenyans from enjoying the full benefits of internet.
Majority of Kenya's internet users use mobile data thanks to about 70% smartphone penetration. But internet providers see the need to invest more towards residential broadband network to facilitate online broadcasting by media players.
But we're just in the early stages. We're still waiting to see how that will pan out, and we'll see how the technologies pan out. Like we indicated earlier, the 4G technology is good, and obviously at the end of the day, the limiter will be the cost and reach, and those two will have to rapidly grow. For those of us who are fixed operators, it means spreading our fiber infrastructure and making it grow far and beyond, which is something that obviously we've been doing consistently, but this now gives us a more impetus.
The biggest change I expect is the broadcasting family to now start thinking of how do they make their content online first of all, and how do they catalog it in such a way that it will be easily accessible to the user, to the end user. So that would be the first change. Secondly, I'd also expect more content development from broadcasters, because again, the reason why somebody would be watching Netflix as opposed to local content is because Netflix has better content.